Yeah, you can take some. I will too. How's she doing? Hi, Scott.
Well, wait, we need Amanda. Oh, we can't.
Why?
We need Amanda. We need 4 votes.
I do, but I can't, I have no service on it. Hold on.
Oh,
let's see if
I had a book.
Yeah, you had a book, get your book. They're gonna take 5 minutes.
Is this a public meeting?
Then they're gonna go over that stuff, and then like Thursday, you can look at what.
We need Amanda.
You need a what?
We need Amanda. We need 4 votes.
Isn't there 4 people sitting here?
He's recused.
Right, and yeah,
It's taking up space.
I just texted her to see if she's coming.
Well, we can
Yeah,
open the meeting. I don't know, are we live here yet?
we are.
All right, folks, I'd like to welcome you to the May 23rd meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals. We have just a couple items on the agenda. One, we're waiting for one more member. And but we can go ahead and approve the April minutes. I found one little spell. I'm sorry I didn't get this to you earlier. I clarified when we approved the negative declaration that it was an uncoordinated seeker review, and I crossed out the G.
Okay, thank you.
And so with those changes, is there a motion to approve the minutes from April?
Motion to approve the minutes from April.
So
We-
many-
Okay, we have a motion, a second. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor will say aye. Aye.
She can't make it.
What, we approved the variance, and now we have to approve officially the resolution. Is that the way it works? I mean, we already approved the variance.
I sent a resolution out a long time ago. Only a couple of you responded. We don't even have any, I don't even have Amanda on record that says it looks good.
Or, because Zoom member doesn't come.
But it won't count, because her vote doesn't count.
Is she home?
She is home. She's home, she doesn't have anybody to watch her kids, she said.
Carl.
Yeah,
Carl,
Carl,
go watch the kids.
Yeah.
take my car, for her, and she can come here Thursday.
Make sure that it's okay with her.
If I may, are you saying that she can't vote remotely?
Right.
The town has passed something that they don't allow it
Well,
without them
New
giving permission or
York State
something.
took that away after COVID. It used to be able to.
That was just a special
Participate.
thing. because of
Yeah.
COVID.
I rewrote bylaws in 2013 to accommodate for the organization I work for, to accommodate that remote meetings were now permissible by New York State. But if there's subsequent COVID changes, I don't.
You can, the planning board is working on creating a resolution where you could vote online if there was like an emergency, like lack of childcare, that kind of
Right.
thing. But I don't think it's been passed yet. But there, you can write a resolution and already do it. Now that New York took it away.
We'll give you one to look at. You give it,
Now-
you can give it to Amanda.
Now,
Yeah.
if
I'll throw it out.
if the 3 votes were here, could she vote tomorrow morning? Would she be the 4th vote then tomorrow morning?
No, she has to vote during a convened meeting. I did find that there was a spelling correction too, and this was my, my spelling error I had. But so the one that I sent you before, I can't remember where the 2 words were here, maybe I can find it.
Okay.
So, or I'll try, or you can just ask me to send it again.
Whichever,
Yes.
if you want to,
Good man, let's go.
if you have it right there.
Yeah.
I can change it on the other one.
They're good. They're good kids. They're great friends.
Carl's
My
gonna-
daughter's kids.
So she'll come out and vote. Yeah, I looked this over. I thought it looked good stuff. What you had done.
Oh, it was somewhere in here. If you go back and look
Okay.
at the one that you have on record,
Sure.
you'll see that I had repeated something about won't have an adverse impact on the conditions, and I put conditions twice or something like that. So I fixed it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's fine now. It's
Okay.
fine now, but it's not,
Okay.
when you go to print it out, you're gonna have the old one that I sent you.
Sure, okay,
And so you just have to go and whatever change I made in that line, you have to change in the one that you have in yours.
Yeah.
Or I can just be bright enough to remember to send you the
I
revised
can
one,
easily
but
change.
yeah.
All right, I'll send that to you. Oh my God.
Decided that by the time
I'm so glad you did it.
we paid him to
Like your babysitter.
Yeah, yeah, the job even comes with babysitting service. All right, so this had been sent out before.
Yep.
And it sounded to me like everybody is ready to go with that. So is there someone who's willing to move this motion?
I will move it.
All right, is there a second to that?
Second.
Is there any further discussion? If not, all in favor will say aye.
I-
I am opposed. So it's, and I think that is our business for this evening, unless anybody else has anything else to do.
That was it.
Did you already read it
We
into
did
the record? or
Yes,
you
yeah,
had to
yeah,
do
the
that?
first.
You usually read it, but I had to do that.
Just in case there are people that are watching, I forget about this. This is the resolution approving the setback variance for Stewart's, and it reads, whereas the Town of Pine Plains Zoning Board of Appeals is in receipt of an area variance application from Stewart Shops Corporation for property located at the address of 7710 South Main Street, Town of Pine Plains, Dutchess County, to allow the complete raising of the existing 3,242 square foot store and the existing gas pumps, tanks, and canopy. These structures are to be replaced with a new store, gas tanks, gas pumps, and a new 100-foot gas pump canopy. The existing store is proposed to stay in operation during construction, with the gas facilities out of service a minimum of approximately 4 weeks, using the applicant's desired site plan. And whereas the Zoning Board of Appeals has reviewed the subject variance request submitted by Stewart Shops, and whereas after review of the application, including review of the town habitat map, a legally noticed public hearing held on March 28th and continued on April 24th in person and via Zoom, and a review of the seeker short environmental assessment form. And whereas the proposed action is an unlisted action under seeker, and the board conducted an uncoordinated review, determining the variance would not have a significant impact on the environment. Whereas the application was submitted to the Dutchess County Department of Planning for a general municipal law 239 review, and the county recommended the application be denied. And whereas the site is located in the Hamlet Main Street District, which has a setback requirement for businesses of no more than 10 feet and
No less.
no less than 25, or no less than, I'm sorry, I read it wrong. Of no less than 10 feet and no more than 25 feet, with the applicant requesting a variance to allow a front yard setback not to exceed 163.5 feet for the store building. And whereas the board determined that the proposed project will not produce an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood, and whereas the applicant has stated that it is not feasible to complete the project and meet the required front yard setback without closing down the business for a time period that would deprive the community of the services provided. And whereas the variance is not considered substantial based upon the location of the existing building and the planning board's ability to determine the final location based upon their site plan approval process. And whereas the proposed project will not have an adverse impact on the physical or environmental conditions. Well, I'm reading maybe from the old one. I corrected that. Will not have an adverse impact on the physical or environmental conditions of the neighborhood, as it is replacing the existing store with a building viewed to be more attractive.
At least on this one, it's as it replacing, so it is.
That is replacing the existing store with a building viewed to be more attractive. And whereas the hardship is related to keeping the business operating to the maximum extent possible for the benefit of the community during construction, and hence is not entirely self-created. And now therefore be it resolved that based upon the preceding findings, the Zoning Board of Appeals of the Town of Pine Plains hereby grants the application for a variance to the requirements found in the Schedule of Bulk Regulations, Table B, requiring a front yard setback of no less than 10 feet and no more than 25 feet, and allowing a front yard setback not to exceed 163.5 feet, with the understanding that the planning board will have the final approval over the building location in the site plan approval process. And we had the motion by these two. The vote was, I voted no, and we have 4 votes to the yes, which was required because the county recommended denial. And in order to pass the resolution, it needed to pass by a majority plus 1. In other words, 4 votes. And so it's been duly adopted.
Motion to adjourn.
Oh, man.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Do we have something online?